Welcome to Lucky Lotus. I'm Brijesh.
I'm Jimmy. Thanks for tuning in this week. Episode 4 coming at you live.
I'm so excited. I can't believe we're already on episode 4.
Right?
1 month.
Made it through St. Patty's Day.
Yep.
Free and clear, not hungover. We're back at it again.
I can see those bags in your eyes.
Yeah, I've had a long day. Today was the first day that I decided that I was going to attempt running.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got on a treadmill today and my nose was running and I smelled terrible and it was bad.
What was your whoop? I bet you put on some records.
I think I ran for maybe 30 minutes and burned 400 calories.
That's
and this
badass.
was at like 4 miles per hour, so it's not going fast.
What? It's a start. It's a start. Just be careful your knees. This is coming from experience from those 240. You got to be careful with your knees, dude. The interior portion starts hurting really badly.
So I have some knee pain today.
Oh
My Achilles tendons got very tight, so I'm just trying to ease into it. So
okay,
I'm gonna try 5 miles an hour, and then I'm gonna try 6 miles an hour until I can't run a mile without stopping.
So
I can tell
you from experience, cardio is going to be the fastest gains you make on just about anything. It'll be probably single-handedly the best way to lose weight too.
You heard it from Brijesh first. I'll be running a marathon in 2 weeks.
You want to? You want to?
No, I sure don't. I would
maybe
never.
Not in 2 weeks. But do you want to run the St. Jude marathon?
Nope. Sure don't. Nothing against St. Jude. Nothing against marathons. Marathons and me will not mix.
Okay, viewers, I'll be running the St. Jude marathon. Jimmy will be cheering me on.
We'll be there. I'll be ghost running and donating to the kids.
Yeah, and I'll be running at 18 miles per hour.
Whatever Brijesh puts up for his donation, I will evaluate that sum, and I will also donate some money of an equal or lesser sum.
It's for the kids. So.
Okay. I guess whatever Brijesh puts up for the marathon, I will also donate that amount.
$1 million.
No, stop. Don't commit me to that.
Okay.
Don't Michael Scott me where it's like you donate for every mile. Have you seen that episode of The Office? He donates to Oscar's niece or nephew for like some marathon, and however many miles they run is how many donations. So if you donate $5, 5 times 26 or 5 times 13, which you have to pay.
Yeah.
So Michael donates $100, and then he finds out that he's going to owe $1,300. And he's like, I need to walk back that donation.
Yeah, that's. Okay, I can see myself doing something stupid like that.
Well, let's get into it. What are you wearing? You look very Manhattan today.
Well, today I decided took inspiration from Steve Jobs, which he ate at India Palace while he was going through pancreatic cancer treatment.
Tactical turtleneck.
No,
it's not a turtleneck.
It's not a turtleneck.
But
it's also a Vietnamese piece.
Okay.
I love Vietnam and all my clothing.
You got your gray jeans, a little greenish tone to them.
And my Sky Zone socks.
The grippy socks. You know what that means.
Yeah, so I was just working at India Palace, so they're not just grippy, but they're sweaty.
You know what they say about a man with big socks, don't you? Big feet.
Big gloves? Okay.
Big feet.
Okay. Yeah, I got big feet.
Get your mind out of the gutter, people.
Jeez, this is a PG-13
episode. I've got on my Grateful Dead t-shirt.
Looks sick.
This just reminds me, I was at a concert for the Dead & Co. and the Sphere, and they, like, if you blink, they turned everything from positive colors to negative colors.
Yeah.
So if you blinked and you looked at the wall and stuff, it all became the exact negative of all the artwork that they had up.
So time out, were you sober during
this?
Yes.
I was drinking.
Okay,
so
well,
I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, it counts.
I was California sober like John Mayer. No, I'm just kidding. John Mayer is California sober, though. He doesn't drink.
That's good. I don't know if you want to get into this tangent, but... Never mind. Let's just.
All right. Well,
we'll talk about drinking.
I can
later.
tell you a funny story. It was like 2 weeks after I was there. John Mayer injured his strumming finger on his guitar.
Yeah.
So he literally played the guitar either with the opposite hand or like with a completely different finger, which is crazy.
It is crazy.
That would be like playing the piano with 2 fingers tied together.
The only other person I know, Jimi Hendrix, he learned the guitar just by watching videos or like TV shows.
Played the national anthem with his tongue one time.
You have to be musically gifted to just pick it up that quickly.
That's what I'm saying.
I will learn how to play the guitar by episode 12.
So
I'll strum you something.
All right. Well, we're going to put you on the spot. We got a guest that week. We'll plug it. We got Kevin Peace, MMA, coming on.
Thank you, Kevin.
So Kevin will be on in quite a few weeks. I started a countdown. It's like 2 months away.
But I'll be honest with you, time is flying since we've been doing this.
Keeps on tripping.
It's like we've got something to do every single day.
Into the future.
Are you a singer?
Yeah, Fly Like an Eagle. Singer? Steve Miller Band. What do you know about that?
Absolutely zilch.
That's not playing at Indian Palace.
That is not. We have a 30 almost a 40-year-old PA system that we play Indian music on.
I think
it's staticky.
You need to convince the management up there to get a jukebox, like one of the ones with the bubbles and stuff in it, like the neon.
Or you know what we could do at Young Avenue? They
touch tunes. Yeah, touch tunes. That actually, hey, I hear the management up there likes money. That's a good way to make money.
It's. I remember I played the what is it? Not Dracula. Dracula. That song I played 10 times in a row.
All I know is on Touch Tunes, I bought $50 worth of Touch Tune credits, and I played them all at a Waffle House one morning, and it was the same Creed song on repeat.
How much would you pay to skip those songs just to play your song?
Yeah, none. Nobody was playing anything.
Okay, there we go.
What's your favorite Creed song?
The best one.
Let's go there. Let's make her a scheme now. Let's go there.
Oh man, when it comes to music and movies, I am not cultured at all.
Can you take?
I guess I'm listening to Creed, guys. I'm listening to Creed.
I never listened to the band you told me to listen to. But did you watch The Heat?
Yeah,
exactly.
Turns out it didn't. But okay. You need to watch Attack on Titan.
What's Attack on Titan?
It's about a story about giants. I can't even tell you because I will ruin so much of it for you.
Okay, well, I'll check it out.
It is something that will itch every single part of your brain. Trust me, it's such a good show. And I got a great website for you to watch it on too. It won't give you any viruses.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is it like I'm going to watch it and like someone's going to get up and walk in front of the movie screen? So this is a funny story. This is just off topic until we get into the agenda. We'll go through the agenda after this. But we were at the same high school, and I told a teacher that I had Percy Jackson, the first movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's about
I remember I read
the Thunderbolt Thief or something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
the Lightning Thief.
The Lightning Thief.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Do you have a
must read?
Do you have the movie on DVD?" And I was like, "Yeah, do I?" And I brought in a bootleg DVD. It was like somebody had filmed it like right here.
Yeah.
And people were walking in front of the person who had filmed it like with popcorn buckets and something. And our teacher was like, "I don't know where you got this.
Where did
Destroy
you get it?
And I did not show this in a public school."
Look at that. The entire class, you just involved in a crime.
But it looked like, I didn't bring it for 2 weeks when we said we were going to watch it. So it looked like I went to the movie theater and filmed it myself.
What's the warning at the beginning of the movie? You can face up to what?
That's what it said. It was like, "This is a director's cut of the DVD. If you share this, we know who you are." It's
complicit in your crime. Oh my God.
I get, I'm in 7th period. I get it's been shown 3 times in 4th period. The 4th period class couldn't even watch it because it was so grainy. It looked like the Zapruder film.
What kind of the Zapruder film with the
missing some frames maybe.
Oh man,
Percy Jackson.
I have not seen the Zapruder film, but we need to watch it.
You've seen parts of it. If you've seen the JFK assassination video, you've seen it.
Isn't it okay? Do you want to get into this?
We can. Let's go through the agenda and then we'll circle back.
And there we go.
All right. So we got, we're going to do some promos. We've got sponsors. We need more sponsors.
Open orifice.
We're going to move into current events. We got some ad reads. We're going to talk about a few things in the news. We're going to talk about our boy Bossin Too Close to the Sun segment.
I've got a good one.
We're going to have some more ad reads. We're going to talk about My Roman Empire. Mm-hmm. We're then going to move into some more current events. And then we've got some plugs.
Okay.
So let's kick it off with the wildest Memphis news story or just news story in general that's on your mind this week.
So we own a Tesla, and apparently that's not.
Tesla's sick. Must be nice, bro.
I've never been more afraid of driving around in a Tesla as of recent.
Why is that for everyone that doesn't know?
Well, apparently, so around the entire country right now, they're vandalizing Tesla stores.
Oh yeah,
they're destroying the vehicles. Also, by the hand, if you buy a secondhand Tesla, it's the price of a Kia. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
You think so?
100%.
I've been looking at one.
You should get one. You should get one. I think
they go about 20 butterfly doors.
How much do you think the Tesla Cybertrucks are going to be worth in about a year?
Not as much as people pay for them. I know a ton of people are trying to get rid of their Tesla due to the depreciation of it.
Yeah, it's much worse than an actual engine, like a a regular engine block car.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like having an iPhone. At a certain point, you know the battery's only going to be at 90% or you know however much, but like still, it's a Tesla.
It is a Tesla. You are part of the innovation.
You remember like 2 or 3 years ago, if you had a Tesla, people were like, "Whoa, he's got a Tesla. He's got Tesla money."
Yeah,
it sounds a little bad to go to like around the country and stuff and plug it in for 45 minutes every time you got to stop.
Yeah.
But if you don't have to stop, I would say like if you're just gonna like it's your car to get around town, sounds great to me. Never stopping at a gas station like that. Yeah. That's probably where I take my biggest risk in life in Memphis.
It is, actually, that is pretty risky.
Think about it.
And you know what really sucks? Okay, there are Chinese electric car companies now that have ranges of 800 miles. And even at the starting price, if you bought it in China, it would be about $10,000 for the base model, which comes with self-driving. Mm-hmm. And that vehicle can go about 800 miles. It's crazy how far behind we are when it comes to other countries and how far they're getting in their electric vehicles.
Yeah, I see the videos all the time of China where it's like, this is what you could get in China for $33,000. But no one ever thinks though too, like if we have like, let's say 15% of the cars in America are Chinese, at any moment they could just stop all those cars if they're electric.
They can.
That's why I believe in gasoline, brother.
What's the Netflix movie where the day after, oh my God, not the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow?
Not that. It's
Percy Jackson, Escape on Titan.
That's exactly one. So what they do in Percy Jackson is they take the Teslas, and if you want to make a roadblock, so most of them, every single vehicle is able to self-drive.
Are you talking about iRobot?
Not iRobot. Not. Oh, no.
Do we just for the viewers' sake, do we go back and forth? Be like, what's that movie's name? That's kind of like
my line. That's my line.
You know what I'm saying?
Every
like,
single.
That's the ultimate podcast. Like, what's that thing we could visually describe to our audience?
Okay, well, imagine this. There's countless of Teslas across the country. And if you want to really jam up somebody's escape route, you can block up the highways with self-driving Teslas and just completely destroy any exit point.
Sounds very Black Mirror.
It's crazy that we're getting to that point, but we're about to have robots as housemates.
I saw Kim K posted a bunch of pictures with a Tesla robot, like that was like basically taking Kanye's role as the parent. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But I would never have a robot in my house.
I guess
no way.
I'll make my current event also about Tesla. I do think it's a little weird that Elon's got 6 of them on the White House lawn and Donald Trump gets in and is like, everything's computer in
the Tesla, buy your Tesla.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it's an ad for Tesla and stuff.
It is.
And so it's like, you know, Elon's not taking any money, but he's also getting photographed on the White House lawn with it and stuff. Yeah. And everyone's talking about it.
And what happened? The Tesla stock dropped. It dropped precipitously.
Do you think it dropped because everyone found out it was a computer?
I think it dropped because probably Elon sold all of his shares. Allegedly. But
I'll have to somebody fact check Brijesh on that. Sound off in the comments. Chat, where are we at?
Thank you, chat.
No, I do. Before we move on, we got our first ad read coming up. I do want to say for those of you at home, it is extremely frustrating when you're on a podcast to not remember what you're going to say.
Yep.
And then I know one of you's driving around being like, the movie is called this. The movie is called this. How do they not know it?
I'll just leave my personal number in the chat. So you can just call me immediately.
Just so Brijesh can get quote unquote movie ideas or movie comments. I'll just drop my personal number, no biggie. I see what you're doing a mile away.
Can you imagine just the voicemails I would get? You need to stop. Yeah. You need to stop right now.
All right. So Brijesh has got our first ad read. Take it away, Brijesh. First ad ever on the pod. Thank you for all our sponsors before we get started.
Seriously, thank you, Nesta Woodworking. And here we go. Tired of not having the right tools, blowing hours at Home Depot or Lowe's, only to lose a Saturday? I hate it when I lose a Saturday.
Right.
Leave it to the pros. Michael at Nesta Woodworking can save your weekend with expert craftsmanship, which I've personally seen in your stories. That man works really hard.
Oh, yeah. He rehung the door for me yesterday.
Yeah, and it looked like, I love the shape of the door. I was never.
I like that it's straight and opens and closes. Thank you. Finish
Sorry,
the
Michael.
first ad read.
Okay. Specializing in custom cabinetry, built-in wood repairs, refurnishing, custom trim, and much more. Take your design and make it a reality. Call Michael at 901-468-7955. That's 901-468-7955 for your next project, and skip the DIY hassle. Somebody is here.
So we'll plug the number and the social. I believe it's Nesta Woodworking on Instagram. You can find him. You can reach out to him. Does great work.
We'll have it in the description too. And thank you for being our first sponsor. You're awesome, dude. You are awesome. There we go.
Sound off. All right. So we're going to move into another current event. What do you got over there, Brijesh?
Well, I've got Wendy Williams going a little bit crazy.
I'm aware of Wendy Williams. I'm aware of her work. I'm not aware of her losing it. So what happened?
Neither am I.
Frantically searching for the paperwork like he's at the DMV and he didn't bring a second ID.
Got it. I did bring it. Okay, so Wendy Williams, a former host of the Wendy Williams Show, is dealing with serious health issues, including primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, FTD, diagnosed in 2023, which affects her speech, cognition, and behavior. Okay, that's pretty serious.
Yeah, Bruce Willis has aphasia as well. So basically, it's like a very quicker version of dementia. Somebody that's a doctor can tell me that it's not, but basically, it's just you start losing, I believe, like motor functions and thought, and you can't remember any. Like, it's so bad they ask them not to shout Bruce Willis's name if Bruce Willis appears at a red carpet event because it gets very confusing for him.
So he's got a little bit of Joe Biden going on.
Supposedly, I mean, allegedly, if there was anything wrong with him. A lot of people say it was the auto pen. It was like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, where the pen takes over and he's got to write the truth.
Yeah.
See, he got it. He got the reference.
No. I know. I said I do not know the reference.
Oh, excellent.
But that's another bit of homework I will do.
Liar.
But back to Bruce Willis. Apparently, he sold all his rights to his person so that in the future, when AI is already here, when they start doing commercials or any type of voice acting, they can use his likeness. He's given away rights to, or his
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, I think his wife has.
Probably his estate.
Yeah.
Before we get into the technical probate of this.
That's the dark side.
I think he's in I think he's in a conservatorship, but I could be mistaken about that.
That is so dark. You like the people you love or trust the most end up squeezing every single dollar they can out of you.
Yeah, but I mean, at a certain point, that's kind of what he wants, right? Like that's what I would want if I lost my mind and I had millions of dollars to sell my AI rights. Like Matthew McConaughey sold his AI rights, or is it just you providing for your grandchildren?
Maybe, but if you
great-grandchildren.
I wonder what kind of percentage you get from it, but we can look into that later.
It's probably like the Netflix deals that people signed at the very beginning of Netflix. They didn't know it was going to be so big, so how could they negotiate for it, which was what the Rust, writer's strike was all about. Like, not all of them have deals for TV, but how often have you watched The Office lately on TV?
Never.
Exactly. So then all the streaming companies just rake it in, and then they want to tell you that these actors are super greedy. It's kind of like the NFL, where people sign multi-million-dollar guaranteed contracts, and then the billionaires are like, what do you mean you want more money? And it's like you're literally making like $1 billion a year off. Like the NFL's guaranteed to print money because they have some socialist structure too where they revenue share.
Yep. And I hope Drake wins his case against Universal.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. We'll be there live. Okay, so back to Wendy Williams. She also has Graves' disease and lymphedema.
What is Graves' disease? Do you know?
I don't, but Austin Brown or Carl Thompson, they know, and they should write that in the chat.
Let me find out. Shout out to Brijesh and I's friends on the pod. Little did they know they were going to get a shout out. The real question is, how long will it take before they listen to this episode to know that they got
apparently
shout
Austin listens to it. He commented, "No one wants your stinky love."
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
So what is Graves' disease?
Gray with an A or an E?
With an A.
Graves' disease is...
Sounds pretty grave. Does not sound like it's a
perhaps you mean Graves' disease.
Sure.
Like a grave.
Yeah.
It's your thyroid goes wild, and your symptoms are your heart starts racing, your hands start shaking, you have unexplained weight loss, and you start sweating like you're in a sauna at all times.
So basically increased anxiety too with the heart rate increasing. Right. Oh my.
You also have an issue with your eyes, making them look like you just saw a ghost.
Yeah.
And your immune system basically attacks your thyroid, making it pump out too much hormone.
Yeah.
Think of it as a gas pedal stuck to the floor per grog.
So you're basically, it's better than Ozempic. and losing weight? Because I know your thyroid's responsible for your metabolism.
Apparently, the solution to this is to give yourself radioactive iodine to nuke your overactive cells, and surgery can be one of your only options. So it literally says, pick your poison.
Pick your poison. Okay, well, thank you. Was that Grok?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Grok.
Thank you, Grok.
Are we going to burn the Grok Center later?
Moment of silence in the chat for Grok.
I still love you, Grok.
Gonna give it a little, air. Let's hear it for Grok. Air horn coming at you live. Yeah, we got sounds. If you didn't watch last week, we know you weren't a real listener.
I thought we didn't have sounds.
Yeah, no, So we did the soundboard all last week, and I was hitting the buttons. We can't hear them when I hit the buttons. Brijesh doesn't know what sound I hit.
I don't.
So he just finds out in post editing.
Yeah, and there's one sound I really want to hear, but it's that.
I got, again, for everyone that didn't listen last week, I got air horn, music red, which is just like 2 minutes of music, which I have no idea why that's on the soundboard.
Thank you for not putting that on.
I've got record scratch, rim shot, crickets, trombone, and applause.
Wasn't there like a moon something?
Yeah, I deleted that one because it was so stupid.
Like, I don't know why I'm gravitating towards it. Okay, so thank you for explaining what Graves is. And past of substance abuse. Wow, okay. Her show ended in 2022 after she stepped away in 2021 due to health problems. Since 2022, she's been under a financial guardianship, which her guardian says is necessary. Of course she does. Due to her permanent incapacity. The Williams disputes this. Recently on March 10th, 2025, she was hospitalized after a wellness check at her care facility, where she's been living with limited family contact amid ongoing legal and personal challenges.
Right. And for those of you who don't know who Wendy Williams is, this is like a very big like daytime talk show host. It would be the equivalent of like Steve Harvey going down or like Rachel Ray. She does cooking, but you know, it'd be someone as big as like on The View, not being able to do.
I mean, she's a household
life.
name. She's a household name.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say up there with Oprah Winfrey, the GOAT. Shout out.
Oprah
Winfrey is a GOAT. She's awesome.
So I'll tell you what else I saw in the news before I walked in here. I'm always quick on it. Last week I broke the Ukraine story for everyone. Yep. So we record on Tuesdays, publish on Sundays, so it's probably a bit late. But anyway, the the JFK files came out today. I saw a really funny tweet that was, the RFK files brought to you, narrated by RFK. I keep saying RFK. The JFK assassination files were released today.
Yep.
And so they are unredacted. There's like 65,000 pages of documents. I was trying to put it in Grok before I came over here, but I think they put it out so you can't look at it with an AI tool.
Yeah.
It's all scanned PDFs of like really old government documents. But I'll give you two highlights.
Hit me.
One, Jack Ruby and Lee Harvey Oswald met 2 weeks before the shooting, which was not known until today.
Yeah.
Okay. The other one is that a guy for the CIA purchased a rifle as well that is the exact same rifle and style as Lee Harvey Oswald's at the exact same sporting goods store and was friends with the guy who owned the sporting goods store.
Coincidence.
Where Lee Harvey Oswald purchased it. So you want to talk about having multiple shooters? You shoot two rifles, both the bullets are going to look pretty the same unless you can get the rifle, you can get the bullet, you can trace back the rifling.
You know, the craziest, me personally, when I would hear the JFK story, immediately my head would think, you're a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to hear anything of it. It's such a tabooed subject until Robert, I forgot the name of the author.
RFK Jr.
Not RFK Jr.
Tell the story,
but
Brijesh.
It's Robert something. When he just broke down the inconsistencies about how a bullet was found on it's just
the magic bullet.
The magic bullet, and you just hear multiple inconsistencies throughout it. And then slowly that's what shattered my mind about the CIA and the FBI, that okay, these organizations probably don't have our best interests in heart.
We probably next week should just do a deep dive on the RFK, or I keep saying RFK.
RFK
JFK.
On the mind, baby.
Yeah, basically.
We'll do it.
He's the next one to come out. It's not like his brother didn't get shot, like, however many months or years later.
Can you imagine if we had Twitter back then, living in a time period like that where all your like major leaders were killed? MLK, Malcolm X, RFK, JFK. And
it's pretty wild.
It is wild. And what's got to be going through your mind? It's okay. Never mind. But to me, it's just. Well, there's always the deep state.
Get it out.
We'll go into more detail next week.
Are you sure there wasn't a single shooter?
Apparently, it is a Zapruder film. There were
I hit a soundboard thing. He has no idea what I hit. So.
crickets, probably crickets. Definitely.
Yeah, no, it wasn't crickets. Okay, we're gonna move into our second ad read. Bear with us. First time reading ads. So this one's for Carson and Abby Cook Realtors. After I personally had a devastating house fire, which I will talk about more on the pod in a future episode, I was desperate to buy a home in Memphis. Time was running out. I was overwhelmed by choices. Then I found Carson and Abby Cook at Keller Williams, and they were my lifeline. They swooped in and found me the perfect place, turned my rent payments into equity overnight.
There we go.
I've been throwing money at someone else's mortgage, but the Cooks showed me the way out. With their expertise, I took a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And they caught me, landing me gently into a better life.
That's
From
beautiful.
inspection to the final key, the Cooks can point you in the right direction.
Thank you, Cooks, for having us back.
Call 901-216-1984 or reach out to Carson Cook, spelled the traditional way, Realtor. That's Carson Cook Realtor on Instagram.
There we go. We'll have it in the description. Thank you. Thank you for sponsoring us. We really appreciate it.
All right, so we're going to move into our segment, Boy Bossing Too Close to the Sun.
Ooh, I got one. Ready?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm ready. You go ahead.
Okay, so this is another story about, I don't tend not to do this. We got a bad review.
Last week it was a bad driver.
Yeah, and this time we got a bad review.
Are you sure it's not you?
I would take, I'm a very truthful person. I would take responsibility, but this time it was not me. My brother initially, he came up to me and said, these people are complainers. It was a group of two people.
For preference, he works at an Indian restaurant.
Yeah, India Palace. I love you.
Shout out.
There we go. So yeah, these two people, they walk in and immediately my brother's like, okay, they're going to start complaining. I don't have to describe them to you or anything like that.
So he
just kind of knew.
Working in a restaurant, you know what complaints look like. It's usually someone that needs a specific table.
Yep.
And then ask for like, could I get a straw with paper on it?
It gets worse. If you sat down, okay, and it's your first time at a restaurant, are you going to order a bunch of food or are you going to start off with like one dish and kind of taste it and kind of work your way up? Or are you going to order about $70 worth of food?
It depends. If I was going to like a Peter Luger's in New York, it's TikTok famous, it's famous around the world,
Yeah.
I'd be like, let's do it.
Yep.
But if I've never been someplace, I probably would ask the waiter, hey, what's good? I would then, order modestly. If I like the appetizer,
Exactly.
we're going to really splurge on the entree. If I like the entree, we might even stay for a little dessert.
Which, don't worry, we provide free desserts. So at the end, they were like, we didn't like any of the food, which completely just
They didn't like the food at all.
They didn't like the food at all. They had chicken tikka masala. I'll read it out. Butter chicken tikka masala, which are basically our staples. If you've never tried Indian food before, you can't go wrong with these two dishes.
Okay.
And they chicken biryani. And
as someone who looks like they know Indian food very well, I can say that it is good.
Yep. Yeah. Your dog knows pretty well too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a big saga guy, big buttered chicken.
Yeah. He. Okay. So back to this. Let me just read what they wrote. We ordered butter chicken tikka masala, biryani. Okay, never mind. I won't do the accent. But it all tastes nothing like it was supposed to. Okay, what is it supposed to taste like? And when we spoke to the manager, someone from the kitchen said, I was a guy from the kitchen who said this. Why are you guys here if you don't like the food? Poor management and poor food quality. When we complained about the biryani, the manager said they are from the north and that's how to make it. I mean, biryani is supposed to taste like biryani, even if it doesn't look the same. Okay, whatever, bro. He gave us a 1 out of 5 on food, 1 out of 5 on service, and 1 out of 5 on atmosphere.
He could have at least acknowledged the atmosphere.
The atmosphere,
it's
come on,
there's
dude.
There's a tiger on the wall. There's an elephant.
Yes, and we haven't retouched that tiger either.
There's the same music played on a loop in the background.
Yep. 30 years, baby. Consistency.
Let's go. Yeah, surely if you guys had terrible food, we'd know in the last 30 years.
Yeah, 100%. We would not be open. It's what really aggravated me. I hate these type of people who not only waste food, waste your time. And he was like, oh, I work at a restaurant, so if we don't like it, we don't have to pay. Which to that, I want to reply, I'm calling the police. That's $70 worth of food.
Yeah.
You just wasted.
It's a little different than, hey, I didn't like my sandwich. Hey, I didn't like the smorgasbord wagon wheel sampler.
Exactly. You wasted my time. You wasted everyone's effort in the back. And it's just aggravating that you think you're going to get scot-free. My dad's he's a nonviolent type of person, so he said, okay, that's fine.
You should have
Leave
looked
it
him
be.
dead in the eye and said, "This isn't a Chili's, sir."
No, I said, I regret this now. Jesus Christ, thank you for wasting our time. And
This
then
is brutal.
yeah, but it's aggravating when you work in the kitchen all day, only the people, not only did they like put their fingers in the food, so it's not
There are valid complaints. Hey, this is cold.
yeah,
Hey, this is
valid
something.
complaints, but it's just that makes no sense that you're going to waste that much food that could have gone to somebody else. It's whatever. It's whatever. Thank you for the review. Thank you for coming, and we did get $25 out of them.
Gonna hit the applause button for the 25 good dollars. The applause is still going. This is what I'm talking about. Like the track is like 45 seconds every time. What? Some of them are 5 seconds. Some of them are 45 seconds.
What's the other one? About a 2 minute long?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a 2-minute music one.
But okay, that's my boy bossing too close to the sun.
So my boy bossing too close to the sun was like, we had some New Year's resolutions and we were going to read them out in the pod. And I had like a thing where like a memory unlocked where we were going to read our New Year's resolutions because we had planned this thing out from January, started recording in February. So then I was like, damn, we never talked about our New Year's resolutions. So I went back and looked at our New Year's resolutions. And one of mine was to have 18-inch arms flexed.
Yep.
So I went to measure them the other day after an arm workout, and they were 18 and a half. So I've already crushed that.
He's
so
on the
now,
juice.
now I'm going for 22s, son.
You got big arms.
I'm coming after it. I'm on it now.
No, I'm telling you, and fitness is a life. What am I getting at?
Fitness
is a life-changing
fitness
experience.
is a journey,
It is a
brother.
journey. Dude, but it's a hell of a journey, and that's a hell of an accomplishment too. 18-inch arms.
This just
18 and a
becomes
half.
like a real bro-teen podcast where we're just like, yeah,
High testosterone,
son,
alpha
send us
males.
your workouts. What you doing wrong? Do you like the Hodge twins? You ever seen them?
I have. I used to love. I guess I still. They were awesome.
Yeah.
The I don't know. The fitness content is something else. It really motivated me to lose a lot of weight.
Yep. So I'm enjoying that so far. So I've got that off the list. I also tweeted out all my New Year's resolutions. So I'm going to try and make them public to hold myself accountable.
There you go. It's you're making progress. You got this. I believe in you.
meet your heroes because they'll always let you down. Not with these bad boys.
There we go. You got names for them?
Yeah, this is butter and this is chicken.
Ooh, butter chicken. Look, next time we have a disgruntled employee, I'm calling you. I'm calling you to intimidate him.
I'll just come out there and be like, "You didn't like the food? I made the food. Yeah, I made the food." So that's boy bossing too close to the sun. All right, we're gonna move into our next ad read, which is also you, which is what I texted you. So don't read the one that I've got on the paper. Working out the kinks, ironing out the wrinkles. Just a man of honor and principle. I'm going to hit the music button.
Yeah.
You have 1 minute.
You got 1 minute? Okay, there we go.
Brijesh, looking for the ad.
And I found it.
Hold on. The music's still playing.
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
going to turn it down.
Okay, ready?
Go for it.
Here we go. Need help with probate in a difficult time? Call WCWS Law Firm today. Our expert attorneys are here to make the process smooth and stress-free with services like settling estates, managing wills, resolving disputes, handling trusts, and guiding you through every legal detail. Based right in the heart of Memphis, we're local probate pros. Reach us at 901-523-1844 or visit us at wcwslaw.com now. Again, that number is 901-523-1844, and the website is wcwslaw.com.
They just took care of my will and testament. You never know the day will come. Ask your parents, do they have a will and testament? Is it on file somewhere? Because there's nothing more frustrating than someone in your family passing away and having to look through where their secret hiding spot is.
That does not sound fun. And what happens if you don't have a will and testament?
You know, it goes to probate court
Yeah.
a lot of times, which is part of that probate that we
Yeah.
said. And I would recommend that if you don't know what happens if you don't have a will, contact the WCWS law firm.
Thank you for sponsoring us.
All right, we're going to move into our 6 big beers segment that Brijesh has a full understanding of this week.
I do.
I'm going to get some judgment from you and then maybe utilize the soundboard this segment. So
Okay.
for those of you first turning into the pod, this is 6 big reasons somebody needs a beer.
Clap.
All right. So this week, the 6 big reasons that somebody needs a beer for me are the Memphis Shelby County School Board. For those of you not familiar with the situation, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're going to get into it.
There we go.
So here are 6 big reasons the Memphis Shelby County School Board needs a beer. Number 6, overtime expenses are now a drinking game. Those wild overtime expenses from Mary Figgins firing. Every time a new receipt drops, they chug. They're 3 beers in and still counting. Did you like that one?
I like that one. I like that one.
Number 5, state takeover means they're off the hook and on to the hops. Tennessee swooping in to babysit the district so the border gets great. You deal with the kids. We'll be at the bar perfecting our IPA fueled I told you so dance.
Man, we got lucky when we graduated.
Number 4, that $45,000 donation was basically beer money. They took a shady $45,000 donation, fired their old superintendent over it.
Yeah.
Now they're thinking, wait, we could have brought a brewery instead with this headache. Cheers to bad choices.
I like that one.
You like these?
I like that.
All right. Number 3, Miss grants mean more time for happy hour, fumbling millions of dollars and not knowing where the money went in federal grants. No problem. They've got a new plan. Skip the paperwork, hit the bottle. Toast to funding via vibes.
Nice.
Bottoms up.
I like that one.
All right. Number 2, state management crew bought in a new gavel, not a keg. Tennessee's new management team rolled in to replace the board's power. And the board's like, we just hoped at least you bring a 6-pack, not just the takeover. Where's the Tennessee hospitality?
Something tells me there's a lot of beer involved in this story.
Yes.
A lot of alcohol.
So number 1 reason the Shelby County Memphis School Board needs a beer. They fired their old superintendent so fast they deserve a medal. Or do they deserve a Miller? 8 months in, they axed their good superintendent who was literally going to children's houses and waking kids up to school, keep money for the district. Amid the chaos, like it was the Olympic speed trials.
Yeah.
Forget the gold. We're popping a cold one and yelling, world record to the fastest dumpster fire you've ever seen.
Here, we're going to put their names up so we can applaud them. That was good.
Yes.
That was good.
Those are 6 big beers out to the Memphis Shelby County School Board.
Thank you, Jimmy, for breaking the news.
All right. Who deserves 6 big beers for you?
Wendy Williams.
All right.
Yeah.
Heavy Wendy Williams.
Listen, Wendy Williams, I have all the love for you.
We're going local audience, national audience. Take it away.
Everywhere, dude. Everywhere.
Number 6.
Number 6. 6 big beers for Wendy Williams, turning her assisted living gig into a live action escape room from NYPD's her Uber paparazzi, her lifeline, and the prize was her own damn talk show.
That is a long one, but I'm going to hit the air hole. I like it.
Thank you.
Number 5.
6 big beers for Wendy, who bragged about scoring a 10 on her psych exam. Newsflash, Wendy. There's no test that tops out of 10 unless it's how many fingers I'm holding up. Congrats. You're officially too sane for math.
That was a good one.
It's sweet.
I like that one.
I appreciate it.
Number 4.
6 big beers for Wendy Williams, stuck in assisted living, but calling into every talk show like she's hosting the Wendy Escape Plan. Somebody get her a mic and a ladder. It's wild. Dude. She's dropping notes off of her 5th floor, wherever she's staying.
That's pretty wild.
It is.
It's like a real, is it bad or is it like a Britney Spears situation? Allegedly.
She's apparently claiming that they're not letting her contact family, even though everyone around her said, or the people that are taking care of her, you have unlimited access to your phone. We're not stopping you from contacting anybody. So who knows what the truth is?
Number 3.
6 big beers for Wendy, who's been spilling tea on Diddy for years. Now she's dropping notes at the window like help. Pretty sure he hit the kill switch from his mansion, whispering, she knew too much about the freak-offs.
That one's good.
Yeah.
Your number 1 and number 2 better be really good. Number 2.
6 big beers for Wendy Williams, who's dropping SOS notes out of her window like she's Rapunzel with a restraining order.
Not good. That should have been number 6.
That should have been number 6. And number one, 6 big beers for Wendy and all the people trying to drain her out of her money. She's in a horrible situation, but everyone's after that bag. That's my 6th beer.
Okay, that should have been number 6. We gotta
We'll work on
reorganize.
We'll work on it.
Read number 3 one more time.
6 big beers for Wendy, who's been spilling tea on Diddy for years. Now she's dropping notes at the window like help. Pretty sure he hit the kill switch from his mansion, whispering she knew too much about the freak-offs.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I appreciate it.
Let me give that a round of applause.
Thank you, audience.
All right, so that's been our 6 big beers segment. We're gonna move straight into Roman Empire. So this is something that Brijesh and I are thinking about that we just, start thinking about, and what is it?
Okay, so for me, it's the greatest pirate in human history.
That's been consuming your mind this week, like a Roman Empire.
It has, because it's she was a woman.
Okay,
Her
what's her name? And please pronounce it correctly.
Ching Shih,
All right.
the prince queen who outsmarted empires.
All right, let's hear about her.
Here we go.
I've never heard about this.
No, so this is actually pretty amazing.
This seems very esoteric.
It is until you kind of it fits. It'll fit the vibe. Born in 1771. She started off in very humble beginnings in China, South Sea China. Because she was poor, she gravitated towards prostitution to make money. And during this time period, apparently Ching Shih's husband, a grand pirate in his time, took a liking to her.
All right,
Yeah.
so
he quoted, "Damn, this bitch bad."
grew up as a prostitute and became a pirate is pretty crazy.
It is crazy. So unlike, actually, women throughout history had they could never hold power. This is a very recent. Women's rights is a very recent thing.
Yeah.
So especially in not ancient China, but 300 years ago.
Still in Japan, it's a thing for like women in power and like being like listened to and stuff. Like it's very very close to like the Middle Eastern cultures.
I think Japan's very. It's an outlier. I really think it's an outlier, especially it's the only non-Western country to be developed so well. But that's not for now. We'll talk about Japan later.
So she becomes a pirate.
She becomes a pirate. I don't know. Okay, we'll forget about that.
Okay. Well, just the whole thing, or you're just gonna
No. We're gonna forget reading it.
I thought you were gonna tell me about her
Ching Shih?
1,800 ships, and she had
Let me get
70,000
to
men.
it.
All right.
Let me get to it. So Ching Shih's husband took a liking to her. He wooed her for weeks. Then finally, he agreed to her terms, which were, I'm not going to be your housewife. I'm not going to be at the shores. Whatever you do, 50-50 from now on. So all profits. So basically, her husband he controlled the Armada, and she controlled all the finances. So she made sure that they were profitable in the end, so that they could gain more ships, gain more men, and eventually she accumulated with the help of her husband, accumulated an armada of over 1,800 ships and had 70,000 pirates loyally serving her.
That's pretty wild.
And that is wild for especially a woman in 18.
And they reported 70,000 men reporting to her.
70,000 men. And there were multiple bounties placed on her head, but no man in her squad ever took 70,000 people. And I put $1 million on your head and you're a pirate. So you have no moral compass, but still you fear and respect this woman so much that no, it's not worth it.
You also have a note on here about her sports betting and or domestic violence.
Oh, and that sports betting is a different subject.
Okay.
Prize Picks. I don't want you to sponsor.
Prize Picks, yeah. Who we're sponsored by, brought to you not by Prize Picks, just so we're clear. Before Prize Picks sends us a cease and desist. Yeah, we on stake. What about it?
But okay, so back to Ching Shih.
All right.
She her husband died in 1801.
All right.
And afterwards, most women who are widowed don't take up positions of power. But because she was also a woman of humble beginnings, and most of the pirates are also of humble beginnings, none of them are prophets. So if a husband had died, the woman would have taken over the business. But still, 70,000 men, a woman taken over. She married her adopted son, which apparently she already had a... Listen. Okay,
This is a real President Taft situation.
Listen. It was a real menage a trois. A little devil's threesome going on.
What?
Okay, here we go. Let me break it. This is why the story's crazy.
All right.
Okay, so Ching Shih's husband, after raiding a village, adopted a 15-year-old kid who he had affairs with and whatever. But back then, bisexuality between the pirates was cool. And,
I don't need to know any more about the pirate. Go on with the story about her.
Okay, and apparently, he had a stellar future. Even though he killed his entire family, he took a liking to this child and adopted him just because what we talked about, the probate.
Boy or girl adopted?
Boy.
Okay.
So he took. So at the end, when the husband or Ching Shih's husband dies, that all the profits go to him legally. Even back then, he had legal disputes.
All right.
Okay, but apparently he wasn't. Yeah, he was in relations with all three of them. They were doing some
So you're
freaky
telling
stuff
me
on
the
sea.
adopted son,
The
female pirate captain,
Yep.
and the female pirate captain's husband, who's also the captain of the Armada,
Yep.
all were having a relationship.
All were having a relationship. It's different out at sea. Different out at sea.
This is like the most like you say this in the 1700s and people are like, what about it?
Stepmom.
But like today people are
Stepmom?
like, yeah,
She's stuck.
stuck in the pirate flag.
Stuck in a pirate flag. But outside of that, he had the most promising future. He was supposed to take over all the ships.
The adopted son, who's also both of their lovers.
Yep.
Okay.
And instead of doing that, he respected her so much. He instead came under. She became the admiral, and underneath her, he became the captain of all the ships. So she still controlled all the finances, while he got to run the Armada. And eventually, about 2 weeks after all this was declared, they ended up getting married, and they ended up having kids together too. At this one, you got to keep in mind that Ching Shih's probably 26, 27. And well, this is all weird.
I feel like I'm listening to a episode of Game of Thrones being described to me, and I've had to go to like the wiki Game of Thrones and look at a family tree.
I gotta do her better justice, but this woman, outside of her sexual relations, she was a force to be reckoned with. She took on not only the Chinese Imperial Navy, brought them to their knees, but then at the end, when her power was waning, she advocated for all her men that they receive pardons and that they receive official titles, that they can live a life out. She fought.
Nice.
And she took on the Portuguese, and she won. And Portuguese,
they had like the best navy,
best technology, and still just through her sheer tactical prowess, she obliterated the Portuguese. And still, like she went up to the not the king, the emperor of China personally, with no escort, no nothing, and she demanded all of that. Not only that all her men get pardoned, that her husband gets an official title in the military, and that she also gets to retain a fleet of ships where she can still trade and do whatever she wants with it. This is unheard of. Can you imagine a criminal going up to the president and be like, or El Chapo, being like, hey, not only are we going to become a pharmaceutical company, but my son's also going to take a powerful position in the government as well, and agree to every single term that you have to be a certain type of leader to even. How do you convince men of that era?
This reminds me of the Iron Islands from Game of Thrones. It's very Game of Thronesy.
I have not watched Game of Thrones.
Spoiler: there's some islands and they're made of iron. So we won't spoil it. Other than that, that's a pretty good Roman Empire. I don't know how I haven't thought about mine. I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet for my Roman Empire. Was I was thinking about George H.W. Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush's resume.
Shout out. Okay.
So he's born to a guy named Prescott Bush, right?
Okay.
His grandmother is related to
RFK,
one of the worst presidents of all time, whose last name is Pierce. So it's like President Pierce. I forget his first name.
Yeah,
but he's real bad.
I do remember. You know how we know a couple presidents by heart just because they're so prominent, but there's a huge span of presidents that we know nothing about.
Franklin Pierce. She's okay.
I'm guessing he's one of those.
She's like the granddaughter of Franklin Pierce. Okay. And Franklin Pierce only got elected because a very famous poet wrote the life and times of Franklin Pierce, which would be like the equivalent of like J.K. Rowling writing a book about like the UK minister right before he gets like elected. Okay. Yeah. It's very crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was born into like one of the most blue blood families in America.
Yep.
Okay. He then goes to Harvard or he goes to Yale, I believe. Goes to Yale and joins the Skull and Bones Society, which is like, you know, it's just like a secret fraternity. It's like you have a fraternity, then you have these secret societies and these orders.
Yep.
It's a lot of stuff claimed of weird stuff they've had to do, like lay in a glass coffin while everyone else in the fraternity was naked around you and just a bunch of crazy stuff, okay?
Something about a cracker too, right?
He gets out of there and he gets out of college and he works his way up and he becomes the co-founder of the Zapata Petroleum Corporation in 1953. Okay. He was president in 1989. So in the course of 40 years, his titles revolve around in succession from oldest to newest title. He was the co-founder of this petroleum company. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's got rich oil money. He then was the president of a feeder corporation for it called the Zapata Offshore Oil Company.
Okay.
He then is elected to the House of Representatives. So he goes from being in the private sector in 1953 to being the president in 1954. So 1 year he becomes the president of this corporation.
Yeah.
He does that for 12 years. 1966,
Yeah.
he stops. Why does he stop? He joins the House of Representatives and wins an election. Okay. He then becomes U.S. ambassador after he's in the House of Representatives from 1967 to 1971. He becomes the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, which kind of seems like a, wow, I can't believe you put that on his resume. Well, guess what his next job is after he gets out of doing that with the UN in 1973? He becomes the director of the CIA.
Oh, God, that's a rabbit
So
hole.
from 1953 to 1967, he goes from being co-founding an oil company to being president of the oil company to now being director of the CIA.
But back then, wasn't there a... I know now anyone can run for president, but back then there was a vetting process. There was a old boys club, right?
We're not even to the point where he starts running for president. Okay.
But it's like his credentials.
So this famous actor from California says he's going to run for president.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan. He runs as his vice president and is vice president for 8 years from 1981 to 1989. So literally president or vice president all of the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he decides he's going to run for president from gets elected 1989 to 1993. He's president.
Yeah.
Only serves one term, and that's the end of his resume. So he goes from starting his own oil company, House of Representatives, UN ambassador, director of the CIA, vice president of the United States, president of the United States.
Do you think he could get a job at Chipotle?
I don't know. And then, okay, he's got sons. His one son was the governor of Florida.
Yeah.
His
Jeb Bush.
Yeah. His other son is two-term president of the United States.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
It is wild, and it kind of shows you that a dynasty, especially of that magnitude, had power.
I'm almost positive, too, that the Bush family makes a ton of money, not only from oil companies now today, but they also are the single person of recycling of cell phones for refurbishing cell phones in the U.S.
That is crazy. That's
all their cell phones have to go to a different corporation outside of the U.S.
It's,
then like your granddaughters on Good Morning America all the time. It's wild.
It's okay. Well, that's really impressive. Thank you for telling me that.
Yes,
that
anytime. My Roman Empire, that consumes my mind all the time.
Does it?
Yeah.
You know what really consumes my mind about George W. Bush?
What?
Dick Cheney, dude.
Yeah.
Dick Cheney.
You guys haven't seen any of those. You watch Vice, you'll find out about that.
It is that man. You know what? I'll go into Dick Cheney next week, but
Dick Cheney.
Oh my
JFK
God.
files. I finally said it right. I didn't say RFK.
Or RFK. RFK files.
We should go through our top our Mount Rushmore of
Conspiracy theories?
Yeah, Mount
Yeah.
Rushmore of American conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
or Mount Rushmore of most powerful people in the U.S. who
Okay,
would never
Skull
want
and
to
Bones
upset.
is on there. What's that thing in California where Alex Jones infiltrated? I don't know.
What is it called? It's something
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove.
Wild.
So-
and he stole Geronimo's skull too, right?
I had an old boss, and I
Yeah.
showed him the Bohemian Grove video,
Yeah.
and he was like, "That's just rich people doing weird stuff." And I was like,
Really
that is
weird
not
stuff.
rich people doing weird stuff. That is weird." Like, if you
Yeah.
guys haven't seen the video, Alex Jones sneaks into this club, and he takes
He's let in.
He takes a he's let in
He's
because he
let
looks
in.
like he fits in.
Yeah.
but he was not invited, so technically he did sneak.
Yeah, our whole backstory is crazy. So he's in. Imagine having a camcorder back
Yeah.
then. How big it's got to be. You're
Yeah,
sneaking
it's not like
that
they're
in.
hiding it. He's just
Yeah.
like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they just like let him in.
So the video that I saw, we are chanting. They're praying to an owl, and an effigy of a child is being burned.
Yeah, they have a fake sacrifice of a child to
Fake.
Molech the owl god, or the owl god.
And these are not just rich people. These are very powerful
Like the
statesmen.
elite of elite.
Elite of elite. Billionaires, statesmen, just about every powerful person in every single industry gathered together. And who is the most famous cowboy actor? I can't think of his mind.
Jimmy Stewart,
Not Jimmy Stewart.
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Okay,
He was there.
yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
It's just, I don't know.
You need to look up some stuff about John Wayne.
I will.
We're not going to discuss it on the pod.
We're not. Or maybe on the Patreon.
Yeah,
If we ever have one. Okay, so we got Skull and Bones, we got Bohemian Grove. What else? JFK,
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney. We'll think of more. There's so many. Okay, what's our next topic?
We got our last ad read. Just want to say again, thanks for all our sponsors and whatnot.
Seriously, thank you.
Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Burkholz, your resident dessert guru. And Devour Desserts Cheesecake Box, it's my latest obsession. I've sampled every sweet under the sun. I mean, just look at me. These are creamy cheesecakes are top tier. My gut's singing its praises, and my taste buds are in love. I want the best dessert ever. Call Devour Desserts for that cheesecakes box, their signature dish. You can find them at 325 South Main, Memphis, Tennessee, 38103, in case you needed the zip code. Or you can call them at 901-695-9833.
Thank you again for sponsoring us. I will be checking you out 100%.
All right.
What do we have next?
So who could believe we sold some ads?
That is, thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. That is
America.
Awesome. I was not 4 episodes in. I was thinking we would already have sponsors. Jamie's Magic.
There we go.
Just Jeremy's Magic.
We're talking serious money.
Serious money.
We're talking.
I'm gonna use that ad money to go buy the desserts.
There you go.
Yeah,
we'll have them right here next time. That's what we should get because we're sponsoring it. Maybe we'll get some ad. We'll have some probate paperwork. We might have a miniature house over here that's a replica of what they're trying to sell. Yeah. Then we'll have a small caricature of Michael Nessa's woodworking business working on the house.
Follow Michael around while he's teaching me how to do the woodworking.
We just follow him and don't say anything. he definitely listened to this episode, dropped off, and did not make it this far. He just wanted to make sure the ad was on here. But here we are talking about just stalking his work.
Thank you, Michael. We won't be too obvious while we're stalking him. Hide in the bushes.
Yeah, or maybe in the wood.
Bohemian Grove
style. The wood itself. We'll come in like that one video. It's like, I didn't mean to kill you.
Haven't seen the video, but I'll take your word for it.
I can't think of the music video. And this is like the 7th time today we're like, what shit? Dean called. And blah, blah.
Oh, hey, there goes my contact.
There we go.
There goes my contact.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Dude, let that live.
Oh, Jesus.
You should have shown the camera.
Oh.
You're out of focus now. We don't have too much going up. I'll talk about, last week I talked about they had a ceasefire for Ukraine. They got a ceasefire for Russia.
Good. Okay.
I want people to stop dying.
Or Lindsey Graham. I want the money. Yeah. I want the money.
We need those minerals.
Didn't he finally concede to all the mineral rights to the U.S.? It's, I guess it's kind of refreshing that the U.S. isn't really hiding its motives anymore, but at the same time, kind of just, I can hear the war drums drumming. Something's coming over the horizon.
I'm just glad we got some peace. We just got one more war to take out, and just like, once there's peace in the Middle East, then we'll be set.
It's, peace in the Middle East.
But we got it in Europe, supposedly. They're supposed to meet today about it, so... We'll see what happens. We'll see how good this news age is. Like we're going to publish this episode. And it'll be like Vladimir Putin has invaded Poland,
and we invaded Iran. Yeah, bombs have dropped.
Yeah,
that's okay.
We'll see what happens.
That'll be something else because
that's something we got going on.
Couldn't they? I don't want to get into too much of a tangent into Iran, but apparently our electrical infrastructure, it's all it can be hacked. It can be stopped.
It's all based on cascading. So if you know the one that cascades to the next one, you could take out one pillar and the dominoes will fall behind it.
It's crazy.
That's why you got to live off the land.
Yeah, good thing we have solar
panels. Can you skin a buck? Can you run a trout line?
Good thing we have a diesel generator.
Yeah, there you go. I'll tell you what. If Iran does attack, they will still be making food at Indian Palace.
Yeah, you want to forever and ever. I'm telling you, no rain, shine, tornado,
regime change. They're open.
We are open.
The only money they like is the currency of the current failed state.
We take Bitcoin now.
Yeah, now they're going to start taking bricks, maybe some fart coin.
Haktuba coin.
You're really dying over there. On a lighter subject, you got something about Stan Lee you were going to tell me about?
A lighter subject. This is not lighter in any way.
Okay, but, maybe not. Well, just not people dying.
Something about conservatorships and people just taking advantage of.
Yeah, you really got a theme this week.
But it's Stan Lee, dude.
Stan Lee. So for those who don't know, who is Stan Lee?
Stan Lee is he's the comic genius that brought you Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, all your childhood favorite comics.
Not DC.
Not DC. Which even back then he was on good terms with DC.
Thor.
There were a lot of crossover. Thor. I don't know about Black Widow. Black Panther.
For sure.
R.I.P. yeah.
My dog.
Hey, who do you think should play Black Panther in the future?
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda Forever?
So
what about Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder playing? Because they're bringing Robert Downey Jr. back to play just about every single character.
Are they?
Yeah. Can you imagine if they brought him back in an alternate universe as a Black Panther? Okay, never mind. Okay, so back to Stan Lee. The Marvel Maestro. Never mind, I can't read with only one contact in. Here we go. In his 90s, frail from pneumonia, memory fading, and his wife, Joan, gone since 2017, enter the Vultures, Kia Morgan, a memorabilia shark turned caretaker, allegedly swiping $5 million, locking Lee away from pals and running his Twitter like a puppet show.
Wow. $5 million?
I mean, back then before, I mean, seriously.
When was this?
Back in 2018. So this was like
prior to the COVID inflation. So we're talking at least like 20% more.
20% more. And this is right after his wife died. And from tidbits, I know he always talked about his wife. Always talked about
That'd be over $6 billion in today's money.
$6 trillion probably.
Yeah, no, it'd be like 6 million. It'd be like six or it'd be
It's
between
something
5.8 and 6.2.
Something very crazy in a very short amount of time. So here we go. Sheesh. A judge slapped Morgan with a restraining order in 18 and got nabbed in 19 for theft and fraud. Case still a mess after 2022 mistrial. Then there's Jerry, how do you say this name?
Are you going to pass this to me? Where'd you stop? I'll get the rest of it.
No.
Okay, I'm going to pass it back.
Okay, Jerry, a scumbag, business manager that turned con artist, sued for siphoning $4.6 million, buying condos with Lee's cash, and duping him into shady loans.
Alleged scumbag.
No, I think it's straight up scumbag. Allegedly. Settled in 2022, but the stench lingers. Even Stain.
So they settled.
They settled.
Okay, well then for sure scumbag.
100%. Even Stan's daughter, JC, got tangled up, accused of screaming fits and worse, though she flipped to fight Morgan and a shady nurse, a road manager, and a memorabilia scam. And it's a circus of greed. By 2018, Stan signing autographs looking like a zombie. Fans ragged. Who's letting this happen? He dies at 95, November 18, and the LADA's elder abuse probe fizzles. Now, 2025, a doc premieres by, I think, Jerry asking for $300,000 of all the B-roll footage so he can publish it, which is, you're a scumbag, dude.
Oh, so he's like selling how he did it.
Yeah, it's no, apparently it wasn't just these handful of people. It was everybody around him taking money from him.
Oh man, that's so sad because he makes all those cameos in the movies.
He does, and then he shows up at all the Comic-Cons, or he did show up at all the Comic-Cons. There's a video of his manager. I don't know the name of him, but Stan Lee was like, I thought I was done with this. I'm done with this crap. And manager...
so he like brought him to a Comic-Con and like didn't tell him it was a Comic-Con.
Said, like leaning over him, said, you're not done. Keep going. I'll tell you when you're done.
Oh man, this is the ultimate. I know you probably haven't seen Happy Gilmore.
I have.
Okay, so in Happy Gilmore, he's making quilts and he's like, my fingers hurt. He's like, well, you just pulled lawn duty if your fingers hurt. Anyone else's fingers hurt?
It's sad. It is just sad. You have a comic book hero, or just the creator of so many like good memories, suffering like this. It's, I don't know.
Definitely not a lighter note. I don't know why you said that.
Well, now 2025, Doc promises fidelity with unseen footage. Bottom line, Stan Lee built an empire of heroes, but in the end, the real villains were closer than Thanos, ripping off a legend while he faded.
Where can people find the documentary and what's it called? Do you know?
I don't know, but I'll post it in the description. It's all over the web right now.
Yeah.
At least the GoFundMe is everywhere right now.
Moment of silence for Stan Lee. Shout out King.
Shout out King.
Episode 4, how you feeling about it?
Feeling good and feeling like we have our bearings straight. At least we don't have our engines on fire anymore on this plane.
All right, so we've got an interview coming up in June. We've got some other stuff in the books. We need some fan mail, people. Where is the fan mail?
Leave a comment. Shout out in the chat.
Comment. Email us at luckylotus@gmail.com. You can find us at luckylotusfm@gmail.com. You can find us at Lucky Lotus FM on Instagram, Spotify, Apple, Facebook. Am I missing anything? TikTok,
Patreon.
Give us a little cheddar.
Just a little bit more. I want to buy those desserts. the premium desserts.
There we go. I'll have some. I'll tell you what. I'll get some for the next time we come on, and we'll have a little box right here. I mean, they're a sponsor. A lot of these people bought ads for 90 days, so we're gonna have them for 90 days. So we might as well.
Yeah, and thank you again. It really means a lot to a growing channel. You guys, I'm not gonna forget the sponsorship.
You were here when we were coming out the mud.
I will do you justice. I will do you justice.
Made out Kentucky after all that happened.
Again, a reference I don't understand.
All right, so thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been episode 4. We will catch you next week.
Bye. Have a great night.